Okay, I am going to answer some questions about Under Construction that was written by Charles Mee and was adapted and performed at Chico State. Um, I went to see it on opening night, so that was really exciting. I loved it. I loved the show. I thought it was really interesting. I thought that all of the acting was really good. I thought the set was really cool. I really liked the two-story set. Those always interest me. I didn't really like the projections that were going on in the background. They were kind of distracting and they weren't like that easy to see because the set was in front of it. But that's really like the only thing I would change about it. I really liked the script. I really liked the performers. I have seen some of them in performances before. Alex Hilsey is a really good friend of mine, so it was always nice to see her in a play. And yeah, so I think that this play is just like, just seeping with identity. They're, each individual character is constantly changing. They're not, they're never one single person. And I think that that kind of speaks a lot about identity, where like there are things about yourself that will always be true. I will always have blue eyes. I will, always have the tattoos on me that I have. But that things kind of change, like your settings change and your groups change and the type of things you like change, and maybe your sexuality changes. That's a fluid thing. Sometimes your gender changes. That's a fluid thing. And I thought that that was really interesting. I thought that it really showed how identity is shaped by other people. There's the scene where the son is talking to his father about not being able to ask somebody out, and his dad's giving him advice like, oh, you should do this, you should go for it, yada yada. And the dad keeps saying, her, you should ask her out, she would love it. But meanwhile, the son is dreaming about a boy, and it kind of, stuff like that kind of makes me wonder, like, would the son be struggling if he had just been able to tell his dad, like, I'm gay, I'm having trouble asking this guy out? Would he even have trouble asking that guy out? Would he just be able to be confident and ask him out? Or, would his dad be giving him the same advice? Would his dad even give him advice? Maybe his dad would be reluctant to even help him. So I think that that's a really good representation of how how identity is portrayed. So another part of this was how women were portrayed. And I think that, again, they did a very good job at kind of showing the two sides of how women are portrayed. You kind of either get like this like moody hellion type of, rebel rouser, like, kind of the riot type of girl that we saw in the beginning when all the girls start stripping and dancing around the house, or you see like this really submissive, just like picture perfect kind of woman like we saw in the beginning, where all the families sit down for Thanksgiving and they all have their different ways of having Thanksgiving, but the women are always sitting there politely, listening to the conversation, not saying too much, not saying anything outlandish, just saying the right amount, and I think that it really shows that there's kind of no in between for women. It's either they're moody and uncontrollable or they're submissive and demure. After watching the play, I think that the playwright definitely wanted us to know that America's identity is a whole melting pot of things. It's, it's people of color, it's LGBTQ people, it's poor people, it's rich people, it's smart people, it's unintelligent people, it's athletic people, artsy people, it's this whole, our identities difference makes up America's identity as a whole. And I think that since the play starts at a different time and moves into 2016, we can kind of see that America's identity changes throughout its history. And I think that the playwright and the actors really wanted to drive home that the identity that America has in 2016 is not the identity that we had in 1943 and won't be the identity that we have in 2043. And I think that that is something that they really drove home and was really important to them and is a really good message that I received from the play.